Will the Director of Law, Kevin Saki, please summarize the executive session discussion?
Yes, we just, the council just had an executive session as permitted by law. There were two matters discussed. There was a discussion regarding internal personnel, and there was discussion regarding the contract with EMS South. Those were the two topics that were discussed tonight.
Let the record reflect that it is now 7:33 p.m., and we will reconvene the regular meeting. May I ask the clerk to call the roll?
Ms. Buckley? Here. Mrs. Clay?
Here.
Dr. Dobrin?
Here.
Mr. Nessie?
Here.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. At this time, I would like to invite everyone to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes, April 24, 20 regular meeting. There is one set of meeting minutes for approval. May I have a motion to approve the April 4th, 2023 regular meeting minutes?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. At this time, our business administrator, Mr. Tarafenko, will announce the promotional oath of office for the Borough of Tinton Falls Police Department.
Thank you, Council President. For those of you that I haven't met before, my name is Charlie Tarafenko. I'm the business administrator, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming, along with all the officers in the back that are showing support for our newest officers who get sworn in tonight. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce Chief Mike DeLucia to bring up the officer for his swearing in.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Director. Once again, it's another great night to be here in Tinton Falls. We welcome a new officer to our family, Michael Volker. Michael comes from Fairhaven Police Department with some experience. Michael interviewed obviously very well to get this job. He went through an interview panel of lieutenants, and then he interviewed with myself, Director Teller Franklin, our two captains. One thing we always look for here in Tinton Falls is about what is community policing to officers. And Michael's answer was, we can always do better in the community, okay? He's very, very strong community roots, okay? He wants to get better. He set a goal to be better and bring himself here. He told me flat out he wanted to come to Tinton Falls, and this was the only department he was looking at, okay? He blew me away in the interview, just like a lot of people that we've hired recently blow me away. But really, Michael is all about team player. And we say too, the ladies and the men in the back, if you have an ego, you can't work here in Tinton Falls. Okay? I don't want anybody working here as ego. We're team players. All right? I know I have the title of chief, but I'm just one officer. I am one officer. We're all a team here. All right? And Michael said, talk about team. You know, he talked about his family. He talked about being better in the community. All right? And that's what we're here for. We're here as police officers to be better for the community of Tinton Falls. Anybody who travels through the town, anybody who lives in the town, anybody who works in our town. We're here to be better for them. And that's all he talked about in his interview. And that's why he's going to stand here. So, we waited patiently for him, right? We had to wait a little time for him. But let's get him sworn in and make him official to our team. Michael Volker, badge number 92.
I, Michael Volker,
I, Michael Volker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of patrolman
of patrolmen,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Okay.
All right, family, come on up here.
Oh,
The mayor likes to be around everybody.
That's
Aw,
great.
That's so sweet.
That's great.
That's nice.
You did tell them your story.
Hi, how are you?
This might be our Christmas story.
Big family turnout. It's fantastic.
Congratulations, Michael.
Lots of luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome. Be safe.
By the flag, Scott, by the flag.
Sweet.
In closing, folks, I want to congratulate Michael's family and friends for coming. Thank you so much. Welcome to our family too at Tinton Falls here. I really do appreciate it. Mom and Dad, raising an amazing son. Thank you. We'll take care of him. He'll be an asset to our police department and the borough of Tinton Falls. I couldn't do this without Mayor Vito Perillo. Thank you, sir. Borough Administrator Charlie Tyler Franco. All the support from the council. Thank you so much. And administration here in the borough. They do have a meeting, so they're going to kick us out in a couple minutes. All right. Thank you guys for coming. All right.
You should have moved forward the time. 7:30. Right. How's your ear? Getting any better? You getting old?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it. I'm okay. I didn't drink tonight. Next, we'll move on to reports. Mr. Neff, our borough engineer.
Thank you, Council President. An update on the library project. If you drove by the last couple weeks, you may have seen the dumpsters out there. The borough's contractor is just about wrapped up now with the clean out of the inside, getting rid of all the old material from the basement and first floor. So that's all just about cleaned out. And that will make room for the architect's team to be able to get in there and complete their assessment and put together their plans and specifications for the next phase of the improvements to the library. So that project is moving along. The Exit 105 Parkway work, we got word that next Friday, May 12th, they're going to open up the Exit 105 southbound ramp. So again, May 12th, they should be opening that ramp up again. And then we do have a final ordinance on tonight, no parking ordinance to create no parking on Tornillo and Tormay. That's just a result of complaints that we've gotten from mostly the business owners in that area about trucks parking overnight on those roads, and then the truck drivers actually leaving their personal cars there during the day while they take their trucks out. So there is a curve there. There's really no need for any on-street parking there. So for safety reasons, the police and I do recommend that ordinance be passed. That's all I have.
Yeah, I see it. Mr. Fallon, our CFO.
No report this evening, thank you.
We'll skip over Mr. Starkey, Director of Law.
Thank you, Council President. I do not have a report tonight, and Mr. Tarafanko just mentioned to me that he does not have a report to give tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Starkey. Ms. Hutchinson?
Thank you, Council President. Just wanted to let everyone know that the petition packets for the upcoming municipal election to be held in November will be available in the clerk's office beginning May 4th. There are 3 council member at-large positions on the ballot. The deadline for the petition submission is September 5th, 2023 at 4 p.m.
We'll move on to council reports. Ms. Buckley?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I just, as I'm the liaison to the Environmental Commission, I just want to congratulate, thank the members of the Tinton Falls Environmental Commission as well as the Tinton Falls Green Team for a soggy but successful Earth Day Festival this past Saturday. Thank you all. I'd also like to thank our DPW department, which did a fantastic job from putting together signage to setting up a whole tent, and the Tinton Falls Little League for partnering with us, bringing in all the kids. We had a great adventure wild safari, which the kids really liked, seeing some of the animals. And despite the rain, because we have Sycamore Park Improvement Project, fabulous hardcovers, we really, obviously outside it was extremely wet, but we were able to have a good time dry inside. So it was very successful. So that's
Thank you.
my report.
Mrs. Clay?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to mention 2 fantastic events that I was able to attend with my fellow council members. The first was the opening of Uncle Giuseppe's, which unfortunately I've visited several times since, but really fantastic to have a vibrant new business in town. The second was the opening day for Little League, which was another fantastic day, and thrilled to throw out a pitch that sailed over home plate. So, but all jokes aside, it was so wonderful to see so many families and so many kids and teams and volunteers. Having been through that with my own kids, to see that tradition still exist really is like very moving. And lastly, last week, I attended the Environmental Commission meeting, which was a joint meeting with our Green Team, and we reviewed the submission for Sustainable Jersey, and I would just like to thank Councilwoman Buckley for her hard work on that document. And congratulations to Officer Volker, who obviously isn't here right now, and his family, but I'm very happy to see the additions to our police force. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Clay. Dr. Dobrin?
Well, thanks for letting me go third, because Ms. Buckley and Ms. Clay just mentioned everything I was going to say, so I do appreciate it. And of course, special thanks to everybody who volunteers in this town, all the residents, and certainly all the employees who make these events terrific. And we really had a lot of great fun events in Tinton Falls since the last council meeting. And of course, as you mentioned about that rain, Mark Shaffrey and his DPW team really did a great job in getting us dry and having a great time at that event as well. And thanks, Mr. Neff, for the update on the library. I'm sure I'll be able to report that on Thursday at the library meeting. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Dobrin. Mr. Nessie?
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, everybody. I have no report regarding the Chicken Advisory Board or no update for Planning Board. However, I do want to mention that I want to thank everyone in the borough, our borough professionals. Over the past 5 years, especially Tom Neff and all those included, there have been 12 projects in town where we received grant money from the state or county up to $2.3 million in savings. And I don't think it's recognized enough, and I'd like to just recognize the borough professionals who put forth the application process and took the time to take the steps to receive the money from the state or the county. So thank you, guys. Also, this past Sunday, I attended the Recreation's father-daughter dance. There was over 200 individuals who attended. I'm thrilled that it's back. I haven't been there for 3 years since COVID, but it was fantastic. Sherry and Michelle do a fantastic job, nothing short of amazing. So thank you to the rec department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Nessie. I have no report tonight. There are no ordinances for introduction this evening. At this time, there is one ordinance for final consideration. We will hold a public hearing on this ordinance with comments being limited to 3 minutes. Comments may only pertain to the ordinance. May I ask the clerk to read the title of the ordinance?
2023-1501, an ordinance amending Section 7-3.4 of the Borough Code to designate Tornillo Way and Tormey Drive as no parking streets.
May I have a motion to open the public discussion on this ordinance?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment? Please remember to state your name and address for the record. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any council members that would like to comment on this ordinance? May I have a motion for adoption?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. May I have a motion to open the public discussion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the time the public may comment on any topic of their choice. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. At this time, I would like to ask the clerk if any public comments were submitted prior to the meeting via email.
There were none.
Please.
Good evening, Council President Manginelli, and everyone. My name is Laura Smith-Staines. I'm a resident here in Tinton Falls, 204 River Edge Road. I'm here tonight with several of my neighbors. We reside in the Swimming River Acres section of town, which is the north end right along the Swimming River. And I'm here tonight to ask your support on a very important issue. I believe the council members have received in advance a copy of the letter that I wrote to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. So you have a little bit of background on the issue at hand. So for the benefit of the public tonight who are not aware, I'm going to do my best to reiterate some of my key points. First, I'd like to take a moment to orient everyone to the property I'll be discussing. So this is if you are coming north on the Parkway and get off at exit 109. This would be Newman Springs Road, the very first office park that you see on the right-hand side. So there's several buildings here as you come off the Parkway. There are these 3 lots that are in question for development, actually. So the Swimming River Acres neighborhood and River Edge Road is here. My home is here, and my neighbors are right here. So 4 of us received a letter from an environmental consulting firm. Thank you. Stating that a wetland delineation was going to be performed across the river from us. I went to the municipal clerk's office in Middletown. I obtained their permit application. Come to find out the delineation had been performed, and they determined that the wetlands were not valuable. So I want to bring your attention to a few other important documents that I've discovered from Middletown. There was a report of April last year where Middletown determined the parcels in question were in need of redevelopment. So what is worrisome about this designation is that it allows Middletown to redevelop the land in any way it chooses without the need for rezoning. So currently it's zoned for commercial use. It could be turned over to residential. And in fact, just last month, Middletown revealed their master plan reexamination, outlining their plan to add nearly 400 multifamily homes on those 3 lots, currently owned by Avalon Bay Communities, which is a large apartment developer. So I'm very concerned about 400 apartments on this property. There are currently there's office space, which, you know, maybe that could be redeveloped, but there's a lot of virgin land behind that is undeveloped, that I'm very concerned. I am an environmental scientist by trade, and so I'm uniquely qualified to express the values of this wetland, which I'm going to discuss tonight. To begin, the wetlands provide flood control. They have such an immense capacity to hold water and have done so during severe recent hurricanes and large storm events, preserving our homes on River Edge Road. Where we live, the 4 homes that were notified, we are at the lowest elevation on this road. In fact, I have a pump station on my front lawn that pumps the sewage out because we are at the lowest point on the road. So at a time when storms are becoming more frequent and severe, we should be moving away from wetlands, not into them. The wetlands, woodlands, and river provide habitat for many critters. We have at least 2 pairs of nesting bald eagles, which are still federally protected. We likely have, and thank you to the Tinton Falls Environmental Commission, we've erected a nesting platform for ospreys, which are seen in our neighborhood. They are also federally protected. I also regularly see great blue herons, egrets, snapping turtles, which should be coming out of the river any day now to lay their eggs in our neighborhood. Deer, fox, a multitude of valuable fish species, many of which spawn here, among many others. The Swimming River Natural Area abuts the river just upstream of the proposed development. A natural area is a state designation with the objective of preservation of habitat diversity, including freshwater marsh, saltwater marsh, woodlands, fields, and estuary. Certainly the impacts to the river ecosystem would have an effect on this preserved natural area. And just upstream of that is the Swimming River Reservoir, which is a source of drinking water to our community. In addition to the environmental value, our land may be historically and or culturally significant. Dating back to 1675, Lewis Morris brought slaves from his Caribbean properties to his iron forge on the river in Tinton Falls. Further, the Lenape tribe of Native Americans have a long, rich history in Monmouth County. In fact, radio dating of artifacts such as arrowheads traces back 12,000 years. And to give you some perspective, the pyramids of Giza are only like 5,400 years old. So we owe it to the enslaved and the original settlers of this land to learn their history, tell their stories, and preserve what remains. Further, this area provides recreation for our community, bringing us together. We kayak, we canoe, we fish, we crab, we birdwatch, skip rocks, and just enjoy all of its natural beauty. Fresh air and the great outdoors are vital for mental health. With so many land parcels being gobbled up by construction projects around Monmouth County, we need to preserve this small piece of sanctity in our literal backyards. In an age when children are all too often on electronics, the river gets the kids outdoors. They explore and imagine, they turn over rocks, climb trees, build forts, and get dirty. My children, so it's not just the adults that are concerned about this, the children are as well. And I have my 7-year-old daughter with me. She turned 7 last week, and she actually wrote a letter to the DEP, and she would like to read it to you tonight. I would like to give her the opportunity. This is Maya.
Dear NJDEP, I don't want you to cut down the trees because it's home to many animals. They don't have that many places to live when people chop down trees. The river is really important too. We have lots of birds, raccoons, fish, turtles, deer, and foxes. I don't want you to take away their homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Another concern with 400 apartments is traffic, of course. I don't know if any of you have had the pleasure of sitting on Newman Springs Road during rush hour traffic, but I have been backed up like past Shrewsbury Avenue. So adding possibly maybe 800 more cars, especially with summer traffic, is going to be a nightmare. So I also wanted to bring your attention to, I created a petition. Residents of Tinton Falls, Middletown, and beyond are organizing to stand up to this deep-pocketed developer, and we have created this petition. So far, as of today, we have over 500 signatures, and we aren't stopping there. So we are here tonight to ask a very small request of you, our governing body. We ask that, in the interest of time, you first draft an opposition letter to DEP expressing these concerns of your residents. Further, we ask that you write to the Middletown Town Council and Planning Board and express the same. And please offer the opportunity to discuss our concerns with them. I'm very passionate about this, and I'm surprised I didn't break down in tears, but it would really be devastating to our community to lose this piece of land, and for the critters, for the people. So thank you for this opportunity to express my concerns. Thank you for your attention, and hopefully your support.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Frank Valentino. I live at 108 River Edge Road. I'm on the other side of River Edge. I'm not on the river, but I am on the woodlands there. Members of the council, the Swing River Natural Area and its tributaries are in New Jersey State, Green Acres, and NJDEP protected forest and wetlands areas. It's a nationally documented bird sanctuary with nesting bald American eagles and numerous other bird species within its protected watershed, woodlands, and estuaries. Swing River is also a tidal flow river flowing from and into the Navesink River to the Sandy Hook Bay and eventually into the Atlantic Ocean. The ecological and biological destructive impact on this massive proposed project would be devastating to much more than just block 1131, lots 30, 31, and 32 in Middletown Township. Tidal river flows at a rate of approximately 5 meters in 8 seconds, which equates to about 2 miles per hour on an outgoing tide. This is the reason that I am requesting that our town council contact the following towns in which the Navesink River flows: Red Bank, Fairhaven, Rumson, Monmouth Beach, Seabright, and the National Park Service at Sandy Hook, who will all be impacted by a plan of this magnitude. They must be made aware of what is going on upriver from their communities. Any environmental issues, destruction, and fallout caused by this plan will be floating their way within 1 to 4 hours. If history has taught us anything, it has taught us that everything is environmentally related, everything. And when wrong decisions are made by the wrong people, there's always a price to pay for those left behind in the aftermath. So I'd leave this letter if you like. I could leave it with a council member, and maybe you could pass it on to Rumson, to the towns I mentioned, if possible. Because this will flow down, this will flow, you know, I'm in the ocean every day. I'm a member of the Long Branch Body Surfing Club. We find things in the ocean from Middletown, you know, so it will get there. So, who do I leave this with? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. And you, by the way, you guys do a great job. We have a great town here. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Kirsten Eklund, and I am at 196 River Edge Road. Laura, Mike, Maya, and Sully are my direct next-door neighbors. So when I was one of the 4 homes that received the letter in question, the first person I texted was Laura so that we could have a discussion. Because of her expertise, her knowledge, and her wisdom, especially within the environmental science arena, she immediately became an ally and someone that we've talked probably several times a week since the letter. So just to give you a little bit of background, I moved here in August of 2022 with my husband and our 2 sons. We're from Staten Island, New York. When we drove into the neighborhood, we drove into town, we were blown away by the beauty, the greenery, people playing outside, neighbors saying hello to each other and waving at us even before we saw the home that we purchased. We moved to this area because Staten Island, obviously, as most of you know, is overcrowded. There's encroaching on all of the green space there, and there's overdevelopment. When we pulled up to our house, and especially when we walked into the backyard, we have a view of the river, we have the sounds of the river, we see eagles, osprey, as Laura mentioned. It's quiet, it's peaceful. Our children fish in the backyard, we canoe. So we've been fortunate enough to explore the river, going all the way up from Red Bank, all the way down to South Tinton Falls, and it's just incredible. We teach our children to leave nature as they find it, to lower our voices so the animals won't be afraid, and to appreciate and preserve that these animals deserve and appreciate their home just as much as we do, which is why we're fighting and bringing this to your attention. When we got this letter, my husband and I were confused, we were upset, we had more questions than you can imagine because it was not transparent. With Laura's incredible diligence and work, she's uncovered that a lot of the stuff has been a year in the process, and we're just now finding out about it. And we're very concerned about the implications to the environment, to our families, to our homes, aesthetically, to our view, to the peace in our backyard. There are a million concerns, we could go on, but we just hope that you will help us to represent our position on this because we love the town that we live in, we're proud, and we want to preserve the nature and the beauty here. Thank you.
I don't disappoint. Ellen Goldberg, 90 Glenwood Drive. I am here as I normally am, but with multiple hats on. So I'm going to first tackle the same issue that you have just heard about briefly. When my husband and I moved into town in 1989, there were around 5,000 people that were living here. It was one of the reasons that we wanted to move out of Middlesex County to Monmouth County, because of the fact that there was farmland and there were a lot less people and there was a lot more area that the houses were on. So now that we have approximately 20,000 people in the town, you can imagine the fact that we have seen a tremendous amount of growth here. The building is out of control. I just feel that every time I drive around town, there's something else going up. There's some more construction happening. I know that some of it, Tinton Falls cannot do anything about, but I really feel like our planning board is not doing their job. I think that there are so many things that we could stand up against, and this is one of those things. And I feel that as a town, there are enough people that will be affected by this, that we are counting on your support, and we are hoping that you will be supportive in this battle, if I can think of any other word. But I just feel that there is something that can be done. The fact that in the last couple of years, our neighborhood has been inundated by deer. I never saw deer in my yard. I never had a problem with deer eating my plants. But in the last couple of years, they have. And I feel that they don't have anywhere to go, and they don't have enough food. So that's why they're coming into our neighborhoods. I have been before this council multiple times expressing how the deer population have overexploded. And we need to do something about it as a town because it's just out of control. But what are we going to do? Are we going to build more? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So whether or not it's in our town, other town building affects. And we need to at least stand up and show our support together and stand strong and say, we don't like this and we can do something about it. Moving on, I wanted to say thank you. Library is a giant issue for me, and seeing progress has been an incredible feeling, especially amongst the library board members. So we're very excited about that. I mean, just to see it happening is amazing. Two things I want to express about the library. I want to remind everyone that we have a music festival in August, on August 19th, and we hope that that gets promoted in town. We also, the other thing is that we sell bricks. You can get a personalized brick, and I've seen it. I was at Liberty Park, and they have the beautiful brick walkway and, you know, lots of names of the individuals who have purchased it. I want to see the same thing in front of our library. We have a decent amount of bricks that have been purchased already, but I would like to see all of the bricks sold, so I'd like that promoted as well. I had one more thing. Oh, Uncle Giuseppe's. As wonderful as Uncle Giuseppe's is, and the food is fantastic, I'm concerned about the traffic. I go to the gym at Jersey Strong, and I have found just in the last 2 weeks, to make a left to try and come out of the parking lot is nearly impossible. And so that's another reason why I'm thinking about, you know, the traffic that this development is going to cause. And, you know, to add to what Laura had said, we don't need more traffic. I mean, it's already tough enough to get around. So I thank you for listening, and thank you all for your service.
Waiting. Stacy Slowinski, 755 Tinton Avenue. Changing gears, I came tonight really just to invite everyone to join us at the Crawford House this weekend. It is Monmouth County's Historic Commission's weekend in Old Monmouth. The house will be open 10 to 5 on Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. We're excited because Claire Garland, who is a longtime borough resident and has Native American roots, is loaning us some of her family artifacts to have on display, which will be a really unique opportunity to see some of these Native American artifacts that are local. And I also wanted to say thank you very much for the work on the library. That's another issue that's close to my heart as well. So I'm excited to see that go forward, and hope to see you this weekend. Thanks.
I agree with what everybody else said. The traffic will be much worse than it already is around Uncle Giuseppe's. You can barely make that left. But what do I know about that left? I love going into the forest around our neighborhood, and our backyard is great, but it does have a lot of deer. And oh yeah, Garrett Benner, Glenwood Drive, 129 Glenwood Drive.
Who can follow that? I mean, who's going to beat that? Is there anybody else? Not having you heard any further, I close the public session. I have a motion.
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Council have anything to add? Now we will move on to the consent agenda. Before we do, are there any items any member of the council would like removed to be voted upon separately? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Ms. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Clay?
Yes.
Dr. Dobrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nessie?
Yes.
Mr. Manginelli?
Yes. Close it, huh? This concludes today's business. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.